Thank you for tuning into the Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Ariel Morocco. Peter is the director of the 12th Division of the ACIO, Advanced or Alien Contact Intelligence Organization. Jessica is a galactic liaison and the interdimensional seer. Together they will discuss the most current updates from the ACIO, Council of Five, and other extraterrestrial sources regarding many influences on our planet today. Our new format allows you to ask questions and hear the answers from the previous show. Post your question in the comment section below the YouTube video. Disclosures, insider intel that keeps you updated with planetary changes.
Hello everyone. Thank you for joining us today on Disclosures, and we have some updates and some important information that's come in. Peter, the insider, was away for a bit, and he is now going to update us about what has been happening. So without any further delay, Peter, I'm just going to let you get right into it and say hello.
I want to say hello to you and to all of our regular, maybe not so regular listeners. We've got very important and actual news, what can be, let's say, game changer in the whole world, all kind of that stuff. So we need to talk about what happened in the break, in the edge of 1980s and 1990s. Once Iron Curtain falls, and once the MK Ultra project went totally out of control in the United States, and once Perseus project in former Soviet Union went totally out of control of former Soviet Union and KGB. Now it is FSB, and of course MK Ultra went out of control from US government and CIA, of course. So they merged together in 1991 to the very specific program MK Perseus. They waited for 30 years for their ultimate opportunity to strike, to hit the whole world with COVID. Now they misused COVID first, and 1 year ago, and now, as 1 year ago, that means in the break of 2019 and 2020, and now, if you will hear or see this in the future, that means in the start of December 2020, they released, of course by purpose, the game Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Yeah, and the stuff is that they don't, because they are attacking the innocent people, the innocent civilians all over the place, all around the world, and because they don't have anything to hide, and not anymore, they started to technically they revealed all of their identities. We can maybe go to the link. I send it to you. I send it to you to the Skype. I think. Yeah, this is it what I'm talking about. Yeah, this is it what I'm talking about, exactly. So there are main villains, public enemies number one from right now. That means Jason Hudson. He's high operative officer, highly ranked operative officer, very unclear origin, between some sort of clash between NSA, CIA, and of course DARPA. Then you have a specific squad, you know, MIA, so Military Intelligence Agency, and MIC, Military Intelligence Service. So you can see all of them. Russell Adler, he was technically his template of memories being in Vietnam was his memories being in Vietnam was used as a template for the whole MK Ultra project in United States. And then you can see all the other members of the team: Alex Mason, Frank Booth, and of course Helen Park. But Helen Park, she is not from US, she's from UK, working for MI6. But the stuff is that we are talking about some sort of clutch between MI5, MI6, CIA, NSA. It's kind of messed up in this times, or it was. It's from the very start, if you want to call it that way. And then we have another people. They are listed once you scroll it down. From Russian side, of course, technically from side of Perseus. We are talking about Anton Volkov, Lev Kravchenko, Vadim Rudnik, Imran Zakayev, and of course the head people, the key of the, let's say, the key officer within KGB, Dmitry Belikov, and the whole, I mean the main guy, main villain, Pyotr Kuznets, who is Bell. You will never ever get this to on the game. He's just many people believe that he is technically, yes, Bell, but it is not like that, because he, Pyotr Kuznets, is Perseus. I mean, not Perseus as a Perseus, but he's the head of the whole Perseus agenda, if you want to call it that way. So maybe you can go back. You can go back, yeah, and look to the Perseus. Go, just roll it to the top. Roll it to the top. Roll it to the top. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, this is it. And Bell was the main operative, if you want to call it that way. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so this Perseus, but he proclaims in the game that he is definitely not the head, but he is not named Perseus, but that it confused everyone because they thought that was just his name.
But yes, but his name is, as I said, yes, his name is Piotr Kuznets. That means Peter Smith in English, if you want to translate it, like literally translate it like that.
So is that his real name?
Yep, it is. Okay. And there are another people like Imran Zakayev, of course, and Arash Kadiwar, it's complicated name to say, and Franz Kraus. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. And what those guys are up to. In 1991, they merged together because they, after fall of Iron Curtain, their thought was like, what the hell are we fighting for? It is bullshit. It's nonsense. And they decided to merge together and to show middle finger to both former superpower. I mean, US and United States and the USSR, because it was USSR at the time, like it or not. And
Do you
that
want
is
to go
it.
through each person and say what they're, or do you want to go more into the agenda of what they're doing?
I think that for this show, talk about agenda.
Okay.
So do you have any questions or so?
Well, you told us that the Umbrella Corporation was involved in bringing in the virus. So were they working with this Perseus group?
Yes,
Project
but I
Perseus?
think yes, but I think we need to talk about another very important stuff. Uh, what is major or what is major problem? I think uh, the the fact that they merged together HARP, high frequency active oral research program stations. It is not a station, it is stations, like network of stations. And it officially started in 1993, what is not true, because it started in 1975 for purpose of monitoring foreign influences, aliens strong foreign influence during because during the war in Lebanon, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about US, United States, they learned from big mistakes during 20 years and duration of the war in Vietnam. And just by the way, in the same year, uh, USSR started program Duga, what is technically not one only just one base with over horizontal radar near Chernobyl power plant, nuclear power plant. It's absolutely the same principle. That means huge network of those radars all over the world. And just because they have the central of this network in Ukraine, in Chernobyl, they fake the nuclear accident, the accident of nuclear power plant, because they need to clear the perimeter. They fake bubble, the pocket reality, and they implanted it in our reality. There is like 20 or 25 miles, like in quotes, no go zone or so. So that means 30 or 40, 5 or 30 or 40 kilometers of radius. You cannot go because there is too much radiation. No, it's nonsense. Nothing of this really happened. Nothing. They are simply keeping perimeter clear for experimentation and cooperation with the United States, with MK Ultra programming and technically HARP. In other words, that means now they are working in cooperation with HARP officially. These high frequency active aerial research programs officially running by Alaskan University in Fairbanks, in Gacona, Alaska, what is their central and only officially only one existing base, what is nonsense, total nonsense. They are running programming of people. Technically, as it was showed in the game, they put the needles like crazy, the most crazy stuff. Technically, some sort of lobotomy during what it was the name of this hole in the eye.
That's the tear duct. In the
Yeah,
tear
tear
duct.
gut or via the nose or something like that. No, they don't need to do so anymore because they've got specific undetectable under frequencies via 4G, 4G plus and 5G and 5G plus, and they can do massive programming all over the world. Hundreds of millions, maybe billions people, they can be triggered just like that. That's it. That's it. What am I talking about? That's it. That's it what I'm talking about. That's
Right.
it. This is serious problem. And they were waiting for it for 30 years. And it is perfect timing for them because COVID-19 was officially revealed as a big threat to the mankind exactly on the edge of November and December 2019, and exactly 1 year after that they started they started the triggering via this programming. That means they released this Call of Duty game. This is it.
And then the Call of Duty game perpetuates the mind control or the MK Ultra triggers.
Not MK Ultra, no, stop. We are talking about MK Perseus.
Okay, so the game itself, will that trigger MK Perseus reactions?
Absolutely. This is what I'm talking about.
So do we
There
tell people
are,
not to play it?
from this point of view, it's absolutely useless because so many people, it's hype over there. It's so widespread, so popular that they already created hive mind. What means that this hive mind gained for their advantage access to the whole world meaning. That means mindset. They can program everyone. Everyone.
What type of program is in there? What is the program telling them to do? To be aggressive, to be in chaos, to be submissive?
I've got a question for you. Look around you. Ask certain question because art of philosophy is art of asking the best question or questions. Which kind of questions you will ask? To yourself or maybe to our listeners? And what will be the answer towards overall situation all over the world? No, just try and you will get the answer.
People will want to know, as well as myself, what is the program, or is it a combination of programs that people are going to be triggered in? What will they be triggered to do?
Riots, problems, being aggressive, being being confused, don't know what to do, being hopeless, helpless, all kind of, if you want to call it, less suffix. Do you know what that means? Less. That means you don't know what to do, you feel weak or so. You got full of complex. That means you are feel small, kind of not valuable, and because you've got those complexes, every single man or woman in the world can act in only two ways. Only two ways. Being passive, submissive, exactly as you described, or this is first way, or being in rage, being furious, commit crimes, and put the world into the chaos. This is the second option. This is it.
We
And
talked
this is
about
it. And this is it. Once there is a chaos all around the world, there needs to be someone who will clean this mess. And that will be them.
it will be who?
That will be them. People responsible for leading MK Perseus. That's it.
So they're the ones that created it, they're the only ones that can fix it.
Exactly.
Are they willing to do that?
Exactly. That's the reason why we, as organization, as ACIO, as organization, were forced to get most craziest way of how to solve this situation. We contacted Mobius in order to stop all this, in order, because it was like, how you can stop this? There is only one possible way to make, in quotes, hardware reset, hard reboot of the whole system, aka or equals matrix. That's it. Problem is, maybe it will be like, fine, it is not a big deal. Yes, it is, because nobody knows what will be, how the world, how the system will look after restart of the system.
Right. Right. Because it's never been done before. Is that correct?
Exactly.
And you mentioned last week when we had a discussion, or the week before, that there was World War III. They were working on that. They had already started it. Is this a part of the outcome if we don't do the reboot or reset?
I'm sure that this will be the way how a reality will be, what will be the outcome of the reality without hard reset or hard reboot, if you want to call it that way.
I know that was it a whole week you were gone. We couldn't communicate. You just sent me a few short messages and you were off doing some work, and this is when you interacted with the Perseus, the Project Perseus.
Once again, We are not talking about MK Ultra. We are not talking about Perseus. We are talking about MK Perseus. Don't mess up. Don't
Okay.
mess
So the
up
MK
the name.
Perseus that's where you were trying to resolve this. You were absent for about a week or so, and I don't know. I mean, of course, time, space, whatever, however you were doing this. And you were communicating with them with, as a representative of the ACIO to discuss what the next process should be, so we don't really lose control here.
Not with Perseus, you are not right. No room for discussion with them. No, you don't
Okay,
get it.
so but
You
with
don't get it
Mobius.
absolutely. You don't get it absolutely.
All right, Peter, you don't have to say it like that. So, like with Mobius, right?
Sorry, I don't want to say, I mean, I don't want to be mean to you. But once again, maybe you don't get it from my words. There is no room for discussion or for negotiation with MK Perseus.
But
They've got
you said that MK Perseus is going to have to be the ones that resolve this. So then you went to
no,
Mobius.
they resolve it for their own advantage.
I see.
Resolve
Okay.
it. That means that they will rule the world. That's it. And that was the stuff that I went to Mobius. Of course, I wasn't the only one, but there were, let's say, few of us, and we discuss, we negotiate with Mobius. That's it.
So how do you feel about Mobius, since we had some problems with them before and removed their inserted matrix on the 15th of April of 2020?
26th
of April. How do you, now you had, it was kind of a difficult thing to get that resolved, and now again, is it a possibility that they could also reinsert once again their specific matrix for their advantage?
To be honest, this will be definitely not that bad. If this happened once, MK Perseus will rule the world. Believe me, definitely not.
I just feels like a little bit like, that saying, you're in between a rock and a hard place. You're in a difficult situation. It's either way, it's difficult. So, but this is the least of a problem. However, it sounds like there is an obstruction regarding the area of not knowing what's going to happen or what could happen during a reboot, because we've never done that. So it feels a bit like Russian roulette.
But the problem, and this is what absolutely in quotes killed me, that even Mobius, they don't know what will happen during hardware reset. I talked about them. I talked with them about that, and I was like, guys, are you serious? And they were, yes, we are, because we made resets hundreds, thousands of times, but classic reset. That means software reset. Never ever done. Never. Any single time. Hardware reset. Never. Even the people, let's say entities, that will be better. They created the matrix. They don't know the outcome.
Okay. This is, yeah, I mean, this is a big deal. Really, really important decision.
Once they said that, the ones they created it, designed it, created it, and launched it, and maintain it, that they don't have clue. They created another reality they want to they want to, and they are puppeting too, because they know that they lose. In our reality, they lose.
I want to bring up a few things.
And how the heck is this possible? Is this possible? They don't know. How? They don't have backdoor? Believe me, that we know 100% that we are sure that they are not bullshitting us. We've got bad hackers in the world.
They've been involved with our planet for how many years? This is Mobius that I'm talking about.
Since pretty much what? Since the very start? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Thousands and thousands of years.
Absolutely.
Or more?
Absolutely.
Is it a million?
Officially, millions of years. Let's say since, if we want to call it that way, 4,000 years or 4 millennia, but the fact is that
This
they
is
created
pre-flood.
What?
Pre-flood.
Yeah.
And they've done this for this length of time, and they've never had to do a reset before.
Once again, they had hundreds or thousands of times, but not hardware reset. Because it worked. It worked so well. This is, I don't believe that. But I mean, I believe it because we've got best hackers, and they are not faking. They are not faking.
You mentioned the year 1975, and there was a period of time where I kept on looking. I was
1976. That was the official stuff once HARP started, HIIRP, HARP, and the DUGA program. In HARP in US officially acknowledged only 1993, and the DUGA program, DUGA system, over horizontal radar system, in the same year in USSR. Yeah, that's true.
Can you describe what the TUGA system is for people that are listening?
You can go for picture. Just write DUGA Chernobyl and we can say it. DUGA, as you can. No. D like Daniel. Yeah, DUGA. Yeah, exactly. And we will see this antenna. Yep, this is it. This is it. What we are talking about. Maybe the first picture will be better. I think. Yeah. Here we go. This is it.
And that's a scalar?
Yeah, it is. Exactly. And we can go for on wiki for HARP with double A. No, just okay. You HARP. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Maybe we can go for Wikipedia, because there are just go for Wikipedia. Yeah, and you can click on it, and we can see that this antenna is huge. Yeah, it's huge. Look at that. It's huge. It's crazy. Yeah, this is it.
They don't have too many pictures of it there, but
Of course, because it's secret.
yeah. And you see DARPA over here. I mean, we can.
Yeah,
This is a
this is what I
high
was.
frequency active auroral research program.
Harpa is every single time involved. Once it is talk, it is about dirty stuff. They've got hands and fingers all over the place. Exactly, believe
Well,
me.
when I was doing Akashic record readings, I had trouble every time I hit the year 1975, 76. There was always something weird going on that didn't look right. So maybe there was some kind of reset or something that happened then.
Once again, they stopped the Vietnam War. I mean, US stopped Vietnam War officially because they started to get their units and troops, US, in get out of Vietnam 1972, but last units, troops, all kind of that stuff get out of Vietnam 1975, and then 1 year later started 1 year later, aka 1976, started the civil war in Lebanon. That's it.
Wow, and we're still there, aren't we?
Yeah, this is it. This is the those are the years, the the mid 70s are the years we are talking about. This is it.
So also, it looks like some timelines might have splintered out of these resets. Maybe I always thought that
And just
Vietnam
by the
War.
way, 10 years, exactly 10 years after start of Lebanon civil war, they faked a Chernobyl nuclear power plant accident because they need to have to clear perimeter. Nothing allowed. Only army vehicles, air, uh, aircrafts. Nothing more. That's it.
How does that affect what happened then? Once again, Lebanon got hit again recently in this past year.
Yeah,
So
because once again, because those timelines, and it was perfectly said. The time you don't get it perfectly. Hey people, open your eyes. It was fit from timeline, perfect from this way, this wise, if you want to call it like time wise. It was set perfectly because the Beirut, there are very valuable stuff for from their point of view. The intel, yes, of course, it's coded, it's encoded, it's encrypted. That's true, but despite of that, they don't want, they, my bad, MK Perseus, they don't want anyone else to find it in Beirut. No one else. And they want to make 100% sure that no one else will mess around with their goods. This is it. With their baby, if you want to call it that way.
but what
This
is
like
it?
and it's like a mother and baby. If someone mess around with a baby, mother will kill him or kill her. That's it. That's it.
What is important around Lebanon?
They hide. They hide it. The codes in
Encryptions.
there.
Yeah.
The encryptions, codes, information, all kind of that stuff. This is it. They want to change everything what we know. This is not about, as it was, of course, from their point of view, aka or alias, or in other words, in Cold War, an alternate or bad ending, if you want to call it that way. It was like good ending, they killed Perseus, everything was fine. In bad ending or alternate ending, Soviets nuked, so detonate all kind of nuclear weapons in Western Europe, and in the first place, and of course in US, on US soil, and that was pretty much it. This is it, what I'm talking about.
I just wanted to confirm what you were saying, that the absence of time when you were gone, I had people contacting me telling me that they were having some problems emotionally and feeling like that they're not acting like themselves. And one person said he felt very hopeless, exactly like you said, and I haven't even talked to you about it. And, really feeling the impact of this mind control. And I also have been feeling hostility. So I don't know if that's MK or actually someone's not happy that I'm, providing information to the public. So it's been very strange and very kind of up and down, like waves of this type of energy coming through for people.
And try to guess what that means, respectively. What caused that? Try to guess.
Well, that's from the MK Perseus, you said,
Absolutely.
and
I
it's
mean,
already been activated. Then
I'm just saying that this is positive confirmation. This is that means that means kind of strange behavior or something like that. This is positive confirmation of that what I'm saying. It is like,
right. There's something else that I wanted to. I mean, there's a lot to take in. What you're talking about, and um, these guys from MK Perseus. I mean, obviously they've been around for a long time, but
as
the
I
fact
said,
that they merged together.
30 years. Give me a second. For 30 years. I mean, they want to merge. They want to merge. They merged technically in late 60s or early 70s, or in the edge or in the break of 1960s and 70s, but it was kind of complicated to start officially cooperating, because Cold War, all kind of that stuff, but they are actively cooperating for 30 years, because as I said, once it was in quote superpowers time, two sides, United States, Soviet Union, it wasn't possible. Of course, as I said, they merged together and worked together from, let's say, late 60s. But once again, they cannot cooperate, but officially. But that's it. They gained intel, and they've got infiltrations, like both sides, for their advantage. Do you know what I'm talking about? That means, in quotes, they know uh, that we know that we are existing. But it was, once again, it wasn't in normal occasions, in normal conditions, normal circumstances. They will take they will take it like, okay, this way, okay, this is a problem, we will interrogate this guy or woman, we will gain all kind of the most valuable info, all kind of, let's say stuff what they know about our operations, about our operatives, about our past actual situation, about future or future plans, if you want to call it that way, or status. The stuff is that they did that on purpose. I mean, they actively cooperated, they infiltrated. That means the Western intelligences infiltrated Eastern intelligences and vice versa. But once again, not because they were working against each other, but with each other, because they were creating this huge, crazy plan. It is crazy. And they were, they were, uh, let's say, built this huge network, or I don't know how we can call it, uh, for 20 years. As I said, approximately uh, the end of 60s or the early 70s. And after Iron Curtain fell, that's it. They merged together officially. That's it. Because it went totally out of control. No matter if we are talking about United States or now, I mean, at those times, former Soviet Union. And that was it. That was their ultimate goal. It was crazy. And it still is crazy.
So I'm looking at this, and I just want some clarity. The group that has been cooperating together, which is kind of, I just want to make sure that we're clear about this, included MI5, MI6, CIA, the Umbrella Corporation, and then also this program, Tuga.
No, it is. Give me a second. Duga Raider, Duga program. Then of course HARP. You almost forgot HARP.
HARP. Yeah, no, I didn't forget it. I just, yeah. Okay.
Sorry, my bad. And MK Ultra and Perseus. If in Soviet side, Perseus. Yeah, Perseus.
And MK
Yeah.
Perseus. Oh, but MI5,
not
MI6,
not MK
CIA.
Perseus, not MK Perseus. At the time, before early 1990s, it was MK Ultra in US and Perseus in Soviet Union. Once again, we should not mess the names. No.
Okay.
And of course, there are those operations, they totally turned upside down, and they started to be a projects, or they need to name it projects, in US Shockwave, in Russian, I mean in former Soviet Union, Geroi, that means hero in English.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Yep.
Yes, that means
That's Project Geroi.
Geroi, that means in once again in English, that means hero, and Shockwave, of course, we know what it means. But what was those, let's say, sister projects about? Very easy. To improve, scientifically improve those chemical, let's say, formulas, chemical stuff they injected those people into the brains. That was it about. So first they need to make some sort of sorting people via race, via age, gender, genetic bloodline, all kind of that stuff, because it need perfectly fit, perfectly. And both Americans and Soviets, they did absolutely the same thing. Of course, not absolutely the same, but because the conditions were different, but the outcome and the process was absolutely the same.
Yeah.
And they let's say that that means Shockwave and Geroi was the scientific side of MK Ultra in US case, United States case, and or side, and the Perseus on Soviet side. That is it, or that was it technically. But I mean, not was, because it is still going on.
I've been recently watching. Well, I have watched this before: Fast and Furious and Triple X and movies like that, where it starts off like, well, Fast and Furious starts off with just racing cars and street groups, right? And then it evolves into very complex interactions with some of these secret services and then high-end corporations. So you start with something that looks, very, very grassroots. It's, city, very urban, and then it evolves into this international exchange. And then, there's all these very, very high, deep state players involved. And so you think, this is, how does this happen? Well, you see how people switch and change, and they go on whichever side ends up, helping them. So at one point they're enemies, and then the next, some other interaction happens, and then the ones that they were enemies with, they end up aligning with. And so we're talking,
it is the absolute. This is absolutely the same story, if you want to call it that way. Absolutely,
well, yeah,
the same
because you're talking about the whole CIA, MI5, MI6, Umbrella,
CIA, NSA, and
NSA.
Technically it is absolutely the same story with CIA. My bad. CIA and MIC or MIA technically.
Yeah.
And MI5,
MII,
MI6.
which is about the intelligence agency. Yeah.
In UK, and MI5, MI6, all kind of that stuff. Yeah, you are right, and it is absolutely. It was shown in Fast and Furious movie series, not one movie,
right,
but movie series. That if you want to beat the bigger enemy, you need to ally with your
former enemy.
Former enemy, absolutely.
Yeah.
What is like, what in the world? And this is it, what we are talking about.
It actually explains a lot of how some of these things, like people that were criminals or people that were ex-military or like having like elite abilities, and then what did they do with them? And they are obviously were involved in these programs, prepared for battle, and if there's no war, then they translate their abilities into something else. And so, and in some cases, it goes into what was displayed in Fast and Furious, but also like Triple X, right? Wasn't that another similar type of movie?
Yeah, it was.
Unless there's another one that I don't know about. That.
And this is it what I am talking about. the whole time.
Yeah,
This
you've
is
been
like
talking about this for years. Yeah, since I've met you about things that happen in Fast and Furious. And at first, when you were talking about it, I was like, this is just a racing game, a show that talks about these guys that were competing with one another, but it really goes into much more complex things. And of course, Heather Shaw is involved, and she brings in the virus in the last
yes,
video.
yes.
So you
And
can
the
see that.
stuff is it is spin-off for Fast and Furious, like Fast and Furious Fast and Furious
Hobbs
Hobbs
and
and
Shaw.
Shaw. What is nonsense? Because she Heather Shaw is telling the story that she is the virus because that means I am the virus that she injected herself, that means infected herself in order to save the world. What is absolute bullshit, and I will not watch my language because it is absolute vice versa.
Yeah, she played herself
Absolutely.
as the hero there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This is it. This is it. And
Okay.
this is exactly what we are talking about right now. The MK Perseus will get from this stuff, from this mess, as a heroes once we will not stop them.
And when they call it heroes, is sort of like an elite soldier program as well, like those bases where they're really training these guys to be super soldiers and so forth. Is that why it's called Camp Hero or
Yep,
Project
exactly.
Hero? I'm sorry, I said Camp Hero, which is something different. Um, yeah, and so they have elite soldiers, and what else are they're actually doing special ops, or what else are they doing there in Project Hero or Garroy?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. We talked about this prior to the show. That during the game and going back to Call of Duty Cold War, um, there's towards the end of the game there's a maze, and so the maze is displaying that you just keep going into one place after another, and you don't
Yes,
necessarily
that's
find your way out.
technically okay. Give me a second. That means, and this is it. The Call of Duty series, it's released game series of games. It's released year per year. It's like 17 or 18 games or so. I mean, specific circle. I mean, recurring games or so. And this never happened in history. That the game can have multiple different endings because you can make choices. The story was always linear. Always. And now in the very end of the game, there is this maze exactly as you mentioned. That means that this is like in PT, it's like playable teaser, the very short game, what was technically never finished, and it was very good root. It was roots for many horror video games. That means you are circling, endless circling in small amount of rooms and hallways, and all the time once you open and close the doors there was small different changes, and that was pretty much the same stuff what happened to this guy as once playing this game. That's pretty much it what I'm talking about.
What does that do to the player while they're doing this?
This is it. Triggering.
this is where they get triggered, particularly in that part of it.
Yeah. Or maybe there are certain trigger words exactly as for this guy in the game called Bell, right? Of course, it was fake name because after the whole game you will get that technically you was former Russian soldier, technically not soldier but officer, not regular soldier, definitely a former Russian Soviet soldier, my bad. And you was uh, injected with fake memories, being in Vietnam, all kind of that stuff. And your trigger words are, or his trigger words, sorry for that, was we've got the job to do. That's it.
I had someone actually tell me this week that they got triggered. That they felt like they were involved in Scientology, and they never were. I mean, they were like in their 20s, and it's like, how in the world did that happen? You know that. So it's like a strange overlay of information, and it was troubling to him. Although he said he experienced some of these things when he was maybe 5 to 7 years ago. It's very, very strange what's happening, what people are saying to me. And I even, Peter, I was looking at, I was looking at something, and I was talking to someone on I don't know, it was Zoom or something like that, and I looked at myself, and I could see myself as a male, as a soldier, and I had a full vision of myself in the like off planet or doing something, and I heard like MI5 or MI6 or something like that, like I was there at the same time. So I don't know if that actually happened or it didn't. It did happen. I'm not sure, but that all happened this week as well. So I saw myself as a soldier, and then I saw this other soldier that died in England from some, I don't know, some event where he was I don't know, heat stroke or something happened, which seemed kind of weird that he died that way. I mean, I know you can die that way, but he looked very similar to the way I saw my face had changed, and that was a really weird thing to me. So I don't know if things are getting activated, and
Of course they are. Of course they are.
or am I getting pulled into things, or is this just a false memory?
You are getting activated, believe me.
Yeah. But was I there? Is that me? Is that
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
You
Okay.
was.
So I knew I was connected to the UK somehow. I mean, I know that multiple times, but yeah, this is another one. So all right. So Peter, let's take a look at. Do you think that we covered this area of the maze, and is there anything else that you want to add about that?
I don't know. I think that technically we talk about what we need.
Okay, so you said everything that we need to say, and then
Yeah, we will hit, we will leave another, we will leave details for another show.
I just have one other thing that I wanted to show.
Okay, go ahead. We almost forget about that.
Right, yes.
Yeah. So, oh, I almost forget about that. So go ahead and talk about Solovetsky. Yeah.
So this was related to, I'm trying to look at your notes. Maybe it's best for you to explain how these islands in off of the USSR. You want to say Russia? I'm not sure. I
Now,
think it was on the western side.
now
Yeah.
Russia, yeah, now
Yeah.
Russia.
Well, it's saying Soviet islands in Russia.
Yeah. It's a fortress. Now it was in former time it was what, monastery, I think.
I mean, it's amazing. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Tell us what's going on there.
It's a main base for Perseus, part of MK Perseus, and you've got another main base, for technically two bases for MK Ultra from US, from United States, in American Samoa. I can't.
Samoa.
Samoa, yeah.
Oh, that's also like in Hobbs and Shaw.
Exactly. This is it. What I'm talking about. This is it. What I'm talking about. Yeah, this is it. There is a huge base. There is technically a huge I don't want to call it monastery, but some sort of fortress built in like 15th or 16th century, and it was rebuilt for MK Ultra center, like, you know, command center, if you want to call it that way. And that's it, pretty much. We can talk about all this stuff in next video. What do you
Which
think?
one was it, Peter? The Carmelite
Yeah.
monastery. That one.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a picture. The other ones do. It's
a complex of monasteries, yeah. Yep. Okay, so I think that we covered this.
All right, Peter.
So for now, for today, this all, and stay tuned for the next release about this stuff, about this important information.
Thank you.
Okay, so any other final words?
No, go ahead and finish your thought. You said if you what? Go ahead.
If you want more information, or if you have questions, write it and in the comments, and till then, people, bye.
All right, thank you, Peter, for joining us today, and thank you to all our listeners. Continue to listen. We'll keep you updated, as well as thank you for your support, and stay tuned. We'll be back again to share more information. Have a good day.
You have been listening to Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Ariel Morocco. Join us on YouTube channel Jessica Ariel Morocco, and visit www.peter-insider.com and www.readingsbyariel.com. Remember to post your questions in the comments section below the video. We look forward to hearing from you.